like he's very manipulative. So he likes controlling. Even Lerato is controlling her.
Within, you lose yourself in the process of being with this person.
Can I just say that I was literally laughing and shaking my body and dancing when Yolanda and Liema were bonding over being saved from eviction on the 7th live eviction that happened last night. And it was really, really nice. I like the dance, removed their clothes in the dressing room and just rearranging everything. And might I add that it was really who took Yolanda's bag back into the house. Now, we noticed that Yolanda kept serving the punishment that Big Brother gave them from last week. And of course, here was Liema sitting with her and they were, talking over Jareed and Jareed's attitude and Papa Ghost's relationship with Lerato. Now, according to Yolanda, she was like, I see people that you've noticed that I haven't gone around certain people. It's for a reason. These are people I could not trust with my life or anything. And I know that one way or the other, they can backstab me, use me, and all just be manipulative of me. Like, for example, Jareed is so manipulative and he knows that he has a skill. He knows how to get his way and he knows that when he manipulates, he's going to get what he wants. Of course, Liema was agreeing to that. And then, Yolanda added that's why she's not even close to Papa Ghost and she doesn't like him anymore. Because this guy finds a way to make every situation work in his favor. She used the Lerato situation as an example, saying, Papa Ghost is so controlling and manipulative of Lerato that she had been mentioning it for a while now, even before Lawrence spoke about it at the live eviction yesterday. And it's true. I can remember even upstairs in the room, she would talk about how manipulative and controlling and disrespectful Papa Ghost is to Lerato. She added that it's even more mind-boggling to see that he wouldn't want her to talk to him the way he talks to her, especially in the presence of other people. And we've seen this countless times. And then after the eviction, we noticed how Lerato was quite very moody. Like, it seems as though Lawrence opened her eyes to how Papa Ghost is to her, how he treats her, and how he values her. That is basically, he doesn't value her that much. And Yolanda used the opportunity to console and comfort Lerato, saying that when she was broken, when she was down and crying, Lerato was one of the people who came to check on her and genuinely just, comfort her. And it just shows one thing. Yolanda is not someone that would be so vile and bitter over what you have done to her before. But when she sees that you're down and she's seen the goodness in you, she is going to come through for you. Because in this particular state, Lerato was just getting different stories from Yolanda, who was giving her stories of her childhood, how her dad, taught her something in the hard way, how she would climb trees to help do things. And it was just a beautiful moment for me because, I really liked that. Lerato, of course, would ask certain questions as to, oh, you did that. And let me just be honest. I really liked this scene, and I liked that these girls could get out of the place of coming at each other. Although part of my mind just still sees and feels how Lerato doesn't really like Yolanda, but it's all good, right? And then we saw that the wives of the evicted housemates, Jareed, at least the two main wives, were bonding over his eviction, while he and the third wife will be spending the time together. Anyways, these two girls were talking about how, for Mpumi, she was like, it's just so crazy how being around that guy makes you lose yourself, and it's just unbelievable how you just become toxic overnight. And that was one reason why she needed to get out of that situation. And she is glad she got out of it. She knows that for her and Jareed, it was all just fun. It was not true deep likeness or anything. It was purely loss. But she knows that for Liema and Jareed, that it is love, and she doesn't know how they're going to navigate it. And she was glad that she left the situation, but only to find out that he left the situation for him to have more time to play his games. And each time she kept seeing and noticing how everything was going, it just kept going and kept being toxic day by day, time after time. At the point, this girl started talking about how from this week they would have to focus on more important things like the game and themselves. Like, they just kept laughing and having a good time. I was like, okay, girls, it is good to see y'all bond, because like, it's been a while. They spoke about how they fought over Jareed, but it was never deep, at least for them. Just only once that it was kind of deep. Besides that, it was still good.
She was happy, dog.
I saw they left. Oh, you don't. The next week it might be you would leave. I'd be depressed, but I'd be depressed for one day only.
And finally, on this video, we noticed how Z and Young Papi also bonded after the live eviction. And here they were talking about random stuff, not until they started talking about Jareed Els and Liema. They started referring to how Liema seemed happy that both were evicted. But we actually know that they were happy. She was happy because Els was evicted. Now, if it was only Els, she would have had a field time. But then, in general, she was happy that they were evicted, but then she only complained that they were going to spend time together. And then here was Z being like, she's not the kind of person that is usually happy over somebody else's eviction. That the only joy or happiness that comes after each eviction is that the game is coming to an end and the house is becoming smaller. Why? Because she knows that next week it can be you. So why are you rejoicing over somebody else's misfortune? And then, you know, they moved on from that to talking about how they would miss each other if either of them gets evicted. Now, for Z, she was like, if you get evicted, I will be depressed for one day, for one night. And then the next day, I'd have to go back into focusing on the show and the game. And he was like, yeah, sure, you should, because I wouldn't want you to get distracted from the show and what you're supposed to do. The money is what is the main shit. So I was laughing about it, but I'm just glad that these two are bonding in a very good light. Now, of course, guys, just make sure you subscribe, click on the bell button, for notification on every post I make. Share comments down below and share this video, because I'm going to see you on the next one. Ciao.